everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. On this video, we'll be working on Canva to achieve a simple design. And this design basically is for you to be able to understand more about alignment, the reason why your fonts has to be equal in your designs, your color placement, your shape placement, the text itself. This is what we are going to be achieving creating this simple design. Let's get right into it. Now we're on our Canva. So straightforward, we go to customize size. Here I'll be using 1080 by 1080. So now I have my canvas. The next thing I want to do is to go to my elements, create a shape. So I'm going to go to shapes. I'll be using a square. Now, one thing first, my square does not have any curved edges, right? If yours have it, you just need to come to corners and change it to 0, all right? But mine doesn't have, so you can see right now it's in 0, so it makes the 4 angles sharp, right? So here I'm going to try and reduce this. All right, so now, as we know on Canva, we can write inside our shape, more like this. Now you can see I can write something inside my shape, but I don't advise people writing inside their shape. Reason is because now if I adjust my shape, my text also get affected with it. You see, right? I can decide to style my text separately from my shape. I can decide to separate my shape. So I don't always advise. I like to have my text aside. I can later group them together, but writing inside a shape, I don't really love the idea, right? I don't know why Canva make it like that, but I don't really like it. Yeah, I don't really like using it like that. So I'm going to get rid of that. So I'll just create this here and step out. Okay. We'll be using this as part of our heading. So I can duplicate it to have two of it. All right. Now there's something I'm doing here, or you can see that I'm doing. Now you can see that the moment this shape are on the same line, I get a guideline. Let me zoom in very well. You see, I have a line that shows that a guide. Now, if I step out a little bit, now you can see I can't get that line again. So that means they're not on the same line. They're not aligned anymore. You see, now it's more like they are half aligned. The middle of the first shape is where the second shape begins. That's what it's telling us here. Now, if I have it here, they are both aligned equally. That is a guide. I love that about Canva. I love that. So I can use that to make sure that, okay, I have it on a straight line, you see. So that is part of what we're trying to achieve as well. Now, what next is I want to have the same shape again, right? But this time around, I want it to have a curved edge. Okay. So I have that in my shape as well. I have it in my basic shapes. I can at the same time use this one, but I would like to use the one I have, my basic shape. So you can see that here we have a curve edge here. And if I go to my curve, I can see it's used 51. So it might be too much. Let's reduce it to probably 20. Okay, so now that I have this, I'm going to try and bring it down here. Now what we can see here is that you notice that the moment I bring my shape, moving my shape around here, I get this 4 guideline again. This 4 guideline simply means that I have my elements in a safe space. Anything I bring out here is possible to be trimmed away, it's possible to be cut out if probably this design is for printing, if probably I want to put it on social medias, stuff like that. These platforms might trim out some part of my designs. So some designs, some text that I know that I want it to be in a safe place, safe area, I will always try to make sure that they are inside my safe space in my canvas. that is the point of this line. I might still take it out a little bit, but you know, now I'm playing with it, like in terms of 50-50. It's possible it's being cut away, it's possible I still have it there after posting. So you know, you want to be on a safe space. So here I'll be using this here for this particular design, right? So I'm going to adjust it now, right? You can see, so I'll be working with this. Let's drag this up. So with this as well, I'm going to duplicate, so you can see both of them are on the same line. You can see, right, aligned together. Okay, so let's drag this up a little bit. I think that effect should be up here. Let's take this up. Okay, so now I have this. The next thing I want to do is to give it a different color. So here I'm going to be using more of this. Should I work with this? Okay, let me have something light. Okay, that's the reason why I'm having something light here is simply because I'll be using a dark text, so definitely the background has to be a light background. So this one I'll be using black, so that tells you that I'll be using a light text on this, right? So here I'm going to bring this up here. Now I can see now that I have this is not coming on this shape, right? It is going under it. You shouldn't worry about that for now. Let's just take it under it. Let's have them both under it. They are aligned, they are centered. Yes. So the next thing I want to do is I want to go to position. So in my position now, I go to layer, right? In my layers now, I can see I have these two shape under these two shapes, so I need to bring them up. Now I can have it on that shape. So here, this I'm going to give this color something kind of deep, right? Something like that. This I'm going to give it a red text. I can add new color. So new color, now I can easily move around the color, right? Change the color. So I can decide to move around my colors and pick the colors I felt like. And if I have the color code, I can drop the color code here. And at the same time, I can use this pick a color picker. Call it color picker. If I click on it, I can use it to move around my canvas to pick a particular color. Maybe I have an object and I have an item that I feel like I want to use the color of that item. I can use my color picker to go around to pick it up, and automatically it will reflect. For example, now you can see the color that we have right now. If I come down here and I click here, it will switch to that particular color. So that's color picker. And here we have gradient as well. So but now we're not really going deeper into that. So let's go back to what we have before. So here is what we have. So next thing I want to do is I want to now start dropping my text. That's the next thing I want to do, start dropping text. Okay, so I'm going to go to text. Yeah, I want to have an headline in school environment. That's going to be my headline. So I'm going to be using the head text. I'm going to drag this up. Okay. Okay, so I'll be changing the fonts, family, the font name. I'll be using Brixton. So let's reduce the fonts. I'll probably be using, let's see, 50 is not bad. So you can see that at the same time I move it to make sure that is at the middle, is aligned. That's it, is aligned. So everything I'm placing here is intentional, not just placing it, is intentional, right? Now I have it here. The next thing I want to write is another text again, which time around this one I'm going to be using the subheading. So this will be do's. So the color of this text will be white. So I'm going to take it up here. I'll be using, let's see, 35 might be okay. Now I can see, I also make sure that it is center, right? I also make sure of that. Now I have that. I want to duplicate that so I can use it for here. I can use it here to have my don'ts. So at the same time, I need to be sure that it's centered. Now they are both centered on their position, right? So the next thing I want to do is I want to group this. So I'll click on my shape and my text together to have that group. Now they are grouped, so I can move this together. All right, same thing with this. I want to group it, I can move it together, right? So it's fine, but let's check our position, let's check our layout, let's check it out. Are we good? Yeah, we are good. We have it here. So this, I would like to have this at the top because it's the main heading. I would like to have it at the top. So we have this kind of ready. So here I would love to have this one under here. It's just me trying to be much more kind of align all my items, right? So here, you know, this one goes for this goes for this. That's just the scope of it. Now the next thing I want to have is under text, which I want to use to write the information, the body text, right? So this is it. Add a little bit of body text. Now if you notice something, you can see that every text I'm using, it's intentional, right? So it's not that oh, let me just use this one. I can change the fonts, I can change the size. Yes, you can, but you just have to be intentional. We have all these things here for a purpose. The heading is meant to be when you want to have an heading, an headline, a title, right? The subheading is when you want to have a subtitle, and the body text is when you want to have your paragraphs, your body information. So these are intentional, right? So what I want to have here is I want to have my body text, my information. All right, so let's have them here. Okay, so here I want to have read. Now there's one important information here that you need to get. Everything I want to have here, they should be the size should be equal. They should be of the same size. There will be a time whereby I will have a long statement I want to make, right? Doesn't mean I need to change the font size. I need to reduce it so it can be on a straight line. No, allow it to come to the next line. All right, or if you know you want everything to be on a straight line, write the longest statement you want to have first, then use the font size for others. All right, so here I'll be using my font size. I would like to use 20 or probably 18. I'll be using 18. Let me just come here and type 18 in it. So I'll be using 18, right? So this is perfect right now. So here I have it. At the same time, my text alignment, I would like you to have it as left, not center. You can see the icon here shows that it's center. I'd like to have it left. So now it's left. It doesn't have any effect on this. Yes, but the moment I start having my other text, you see the effect. So here is left now, which is fine. So I will duplicate this. You can see it to come down to the next line. Okay. Now, other thing here you need to notice, the next line I want to have, the third one, you can see the space between three texts is 24, right? I'm not saying yours has to be 24, but whatever you are using, it should be the same gap. The gap between each line should be equal. That's the power of alignment as well. It should be equal. It shows that you are intentional, right? It should be equal. So that's just it. Now let's see, this text now is a bit longer. Let's see what will happen. Okay, now I have a longer text now. So all I need to do is to look for a particular last place I feel like bringing down. So from here now, I'll just press enter. Now I have it down here. This contains 2 lines, right? But definitely is very clear that is different from these other ones, right? The gap between this shows that this is a statement, and this gap between here, this shows that this statement is different from this statement. And now talking about the alignment earlier, now you can see that every of my text fall into the left side. If I choose this now, you can see the text is now center. If I press again, it will be right, align right, right? Here means justify. It's all going to be equal. Like it is try to adjust the space by itself to make sure that it fits in, something like that. So here I'll be using left. Okay, so that is that. So I just use that to write all other things. Okay, so let's leave it like that. I have all my do's. If I want to have more, I can, have more like that. So the next thing I want to do is I want to write the don'ts. Okay, so here I'm just going to duplicate one as well, take it down here, right, change the color to white or any light color of your choice. You can see that it's on the same line, right? You can see that line guide. That's beautiful. So here I want to write things that I should not do. Now if you look at this particular one, it's going to be different from this, because what matters here is we want to have our information here have the same space. But the last one we had here is on 2 lines, right? So now this definitely will feel like, oh, let me have it here instead. Now this gap will feel like is empty. What is the purpose of that, right? You are trying to make sure that it's aligned with this. This do's does not really concerns you anymore. This is what concerns you right now. So you want to make sure that these have the same space you have been keeping, which is 24, right? And they are both aligned. So because this is another point, this is a different point, right? So yeah. Okay, so now I have 5 points for both do's and don'ts, right? I have 5 points for do's and don'ts. Basically, I'm almost done. I'm rounding up very soon. The next thing I want to do is create an effect. Okay, create an effect of this is a solid important information. This is something that you should not do. So let's check elements out. Let's see elements. Let's say let's look for if you can see wrong. Okay, let's just check for mark. Okay, yeah. Let's see some graphics. This looks good, but we have our background to be green. Applying green on it might not give us a good one. Okay, let's see this. let's reduce it and see what's gonna is helpful. It has to be very small, not something that you want to make it big and stuff like that. No, let's see now. Okay, this is not bad, but it's possible that we might come across something much more better, so let's just leave that. Okay, this will work for don'ts. Okay, so let's quickly do that for don'ts. Okay, now I have this. Let's see, it's not bad. Okay, yeah, it's not bad. So I'll just duplicate this to achieve it for, and I'm also making sure that it's aligned. You see, also make sure that they are in the same straight line. So let me duplicate the two together so I can achieve more. Okay, so here I have it for the don'ts. Okay, now let's see if we can have something better for do's. If not, we just go ahead with that one that we have. I don't think we can get something better. Okay. Let's see if we can use this. Boys, I think it's the one we used earlier. Let's check, let's compare. Okay, it's not the one, so I think let's just use this one instead. So let's get rid of this and use this one instead. Okay, the same thing, I'm going to duplicate. So here I have it beside it now, so it looks more better. So here we have it, things that we can do in school and things that we shouldn't do in school, do's and don'ts. Now you see that everything we have here, it's all aligned, is intentional. I keep saying that, right? It makes your design looks beautiful. It makes it so that yes, anybody seeing the design knows that what you have here is something that this person actually, like, did on purpose, not by mistake, not just dragging some elements, some items out. It's a simple design, but it helps you to know how to arrange, to organize your elements properly. Now, talking about arrange, let's go to position. You can see some things that have been done, right? So let's see that. Let's bring all these. I will have to bring all this together. This. Okay, so I would like to have all these together, probably group them. Okay, yeah. So the do's, I would love to bring it together, but later I'm going to separate them, but I just want to bring it together. Yeah, so I can ungroup from here. Okay, so you see I have it here, it's fine like this, and I have this one here. So the next thing I want to do is I want to bring this checkbox to come and meet the rightful owner. So you can see that everything I have here is for do's. Everything I have up here is for don'ts, which is not well organized completely. Let's have all this together, grouped. Okay, so this the headline should come up here. Okay, so now it's well organized. So that's it. So if you find this video helpful, make sure you like, you subscribe, and you drop your comment. And also make sure you practice. Go to your Canva, use the same video to get some things aligned and see that it works perfectly for you. Any other thing you want me to drop on Canva, you can drop it in the comment section. I'm always on the comment section. So see you in the next video. Stay safe. Peace out.